Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to full shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
And I'm Jordan Hanhilammi.
And this is It's Movie Time. All right, Jordan, do we need another Zombiland? Because this one, Zombiland, double take. Is the,
Double tap, yeah.
All right. That's right. That's what we're going to call our podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
I like it.
Jordan, do we need another Zombiland? This one is called Zombiland Double Tap. Now, 10 years ago, this stuff worked. Started the whole zombie thing, really, because Walking Dead came a year after. So what do you think?
Well, need is an interesting word. And to be honest, I don't know that people. I didn't. I know it's a movie that has lived on. Through repeat viewings. It's definitely something that people reference and.
Nice word. Lived on.
Yeah, it had a good. It had a good solid box office run, and then like I said, people continue to watch it on streaming and on TV and stuff. So.
Yeah.
They monitor things like that, obviously, in the movie business nowadays, all the data and everything. So,
right.
So I don't know that a lot of people were clamoring for it, but at the same time, it's done well so far.
Yeah, so. I know. So we've got 4 of the original cast, and we're talking 6 Oscar nominations amongst these people, including 1 Oscar for Emma Stone. So you got Woody Harrelson, Emma Stone,
Abigail Breslin, and Jesse Eisenberg.
Now that is one tough group.
It is, and they have fun with that in the trailer, where they tee it up as as they're firing off guns and firing at zombies and stuff. It's Oscar nominee and
right,
and
yeah.
so they definitely have fun with it, and I think that's one of the interesting things to me about. I don't know if there's anything in particular that you enjoy about sequels, but it's interesting to me with the first sequel to see what the producers think people were so entranced by with the first one, because you usually see that exploited in the second one.
Yeah.
And in this one, while there's obviously zombies and some things like that, it is very, very clear that the chemistry of the characters and the actors is what they felt like people wanted again.
No, you are so right. The thing I liked about it is that the character played by Woody Harrelson, for instance, Tallahassee, is the same character that we had 10 years ago, only grown just a bit, as 10 years might do. So I think you're right. They concentrate on character here. The whole business about exploding heads, and in one case crushing is like an ancillary to the fun.
Yeah.
That they're having.
Well, they exploit the character side of it to the extent they feel the characters are so important that they actually create doppelgangers.
Yes,
so that they have
right.
even more of the same characters that you already loved.
That's right, that new character.
Yeah.
The hippie.
So Luke Wilson and Middleditch.
Berkeley is the one I'm talking about. It's a new character.
Oh yeah, those guys. Yes, for sure.
Avon Jogia.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he looks like does he look like Luke? Who does he look like?
Well, they have the doppelganger guys. That's the Luke Wilson and the Middleditch that are supposed to be Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson. Like when they come barreling into Rosario Dawson's Graceland Hotel.
I know. Yes.
But they wanted to add even more of the same characters to that, and then obviously, like you're saying, like they play off and create these very specific, fun little side characters.
Well, what I love about this Berkeley character is that it sets off Tallahassee.
Yeah.
Because he's a hippie.
Yes.
From Berkeley.
Yep.
And, nothing could be worse.
Exactly.
His what kind of daughter, Abigail Breslin, and is hooking up with him, and you can't think of anything to drive him crazier than that she's hooked up with a hippie.
Yeah, it does. You're right. It's now that you say that, it's like that he and then the Super Valley girl. The two of them are almost. They're almost exceedingly the enemy of Tallahassee than more than the zombies are. Like they drive him crazier
Yeah, that's right.
than the other people are.
Who are the real zombies
Yeah,
here?
exactly.
They're in the group. And you mentioned Madison, played by Zoe Deutsch, is it?
Yeah.
Now, Jordan, I think she's a little gem here.
Yeah.
She takes the most cliched possible character, the dumb blonde, straight out of the 50s and 60s, and she gives her life in this thing. You know, she plays a ditzy lady who eventually turns out to be more contributory than we would have thought.
Mm-hmm.
But how were you struck by that?
You almost are inherently wanting to get rid of her immediately because it's such a stereotypical character.
Yes.
You've seen it a million times. Yet you're right. She does it in such an over the top way.
Yes.
But gives it some sort of heart that you're actually.
Yes.
Every time she came back, I was like, okay, I'll definitely take this again. So yeah.
And you know, if we could make something academic out of it, there's a family theme here.
Yes, absolutely.
And do you think that gives it the heft?
Yeah, I think it's that just continuation of the characters that they felt like people wanted to really live with these people again for a couple hours, and then to take that, you know, the step further of making them feel like in that world is about as much of a family as you can have.
That's right.
At that point in time.
And they carry right through to the end. That sense of family. I'm amused also that they have no problem in the sexism of it.
Yeah.
That is, both Emma Stone's character and Abigail Breslin are kind of in the background. It's the men who do the blowing up and the thinking, right?
Yeah, right. But also obviously playing off of their, the emotional side of it is actually the Abigail Breslin and Emma Stone are more of the cold, they understand this world in this way of like you got to move on and you got to fend for yourself and things like that. Whereas obviously like Jesse Eisenberg is the kind of hopeless romantic and still trying to create something emotional in this world that's totally devoid now of, of emotion. So they do take that on as a, I guess, stereotypical masculine kind of role, but then a lot of the actual fighting and things definitely goes down with the guys.
I think that it's worthwhile seeing. It's a fun kind of date. If you're amused by the 10-year span of zombie movies and stuff, and going way back to Romero and coming back up through here, this thing has endured. It's ironic, of course. These are living dead. This thing's a living dead genre.
Right.
And how do you make it funny?
Well, and you see people trying to do these different, Zombiland, I feel like was one of the first that did this. As you noted, zombie movies have existed for a long time.
Yeah.
Zombiland 10 years ago kind of flipped the genre on its head a bit.
Yes.
And then we see people experimenting with things like the Jim Jarmusch movie that just came out, and there's one that just dropped on Hulu with Lupita Nyong'o that kind of having fun and playing with the concept and stuff. They're still trying to use this concept as much as they possibly can.
Unbelievable.
There's something undead about it.
Yes, exactly. Well, Jordan, the film is Zombiland Double Tap. What grade do you award it?
I would say I think probably a B. I think it's a fun movie. It's fun spending this time with the people again. My main kind of disappointment from it was just that it lacked I liked the balance of actually having some somewhat suspenseful scenes in the first movie. They had, I didn't really feel any of that in this. There wasn't the actual moments of, I never really felt like they were actually in trouble, really at any points or anything. And but it was definitely worth having fun with the people again.
And I'll award it a B minus.
Yeah.
And all this means, since we're putting in the B area, that it's worth seeing.
Yep.
Can be a fun time. Mm-hmm. Do you think this will live on?
I think it'll be a movie that it'll depend on how much the first one does. I don't think it's one that ruins it's not going to be like certain sequels that people feel like it messed up the first one and then they can't revisit or something. As long as people are enjoying the first one, I think they'll enjoy going back to the characters again and having fun with it.
Yeah, I think so. And as long as we have a White House that can be used as a background for the film.
Yeah.
And when you think of all the brains that could be bleeding out of
Yes.
any political situation in the current world, it works. Literally and figuratively, it works.
Yes. I